Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Adam McKola TV. I am Adam. This is the Aftermath Live, the place where we speak about everything that happened in the previous match. This match obviously being Manchester United 4, Chelsea 0. What a Premier League opener it was for Manchester United at Old Trafford. Goals from Marcus Rashford, who got 2. Anthony Martial, who got the second for Manchester United. And of course, Daniel James with that dream goal to settle the game at Old Trafford. 4-0 it was to the Reds. What a day it was. We have to keep our feet firmly on the ground, but we will of course be reveling in that victory and enjoying it all here after the dust has settled on the Aftermath Live. I'm Adam McKola. This is Adam McKola TV. If you've never been here before and you've never watched the Aftermath, usually Dean is sat next to me. He'll be back for the next episode, so don't worry about that. But today it's just me and you guys sat at home solo. Let's do this. We're going to do player ratings at the end of the game, so you'll get a chance to give your player ratings and stuff like that at the end of the game. But right now we're just talking about the game, and we're talking about the performance from Manchester United. The first 25, 30 minutes, they weren't great, let's be honest. They weren't great at all the first 20, 25 minutes for Manchester United. Chelsea dominated possession. They hit the post through Tammy Abraham. Of course, they hit the post again as well. And it was worrying times for United. You were thinking, geez, we really need to get a grip of this game and get a hold of the possession. We had a break. It was well done by the referee for letting play advantage after Andreas Pereira was fouled. Marcus Rashford gets the ball in the box, turns Zuma, and Zuma fouls him. Clear penalty, clear as day. Marcus Rashford dispatching the penalty just as he did in Paris, 1-0. And from there on, Manchester United were the only team in the game. Obviously, just after the break, Chelsea had possession again, and they seemed to threaten a little bit. But once United got that second goal, it was really easy for Manchester United. And Anthony Martial as well with that goal. And what delighted me about Anthony Martial's goal, his first of the season, was where he was and where he scored it. He was running in the box. He was close to the 6-yard box when he tucked it in. He had a little bit of luck. It hit his knee and then hit his leg and went in. But he got the right side of the defender. He got in front of him. It was a great pass by Andreas Pereira, who's spoken about being like David Beckham and finding players with crosses like that. And he had the whip on it. He got it in the 6-yard box and Martial was there to finish it. That's where we want to see him. Yes, he's always going to drop out wide, swap with Marcus Rashford. We want an interchangeable front line. That's what we want to see at United. That's when we get most excited, when the front line's just roaming and running all over the place and we're attacking teams. But when he is in that number 9 position, we need him to be looking for goals, sniffing goals out, being ruthless, trying to get in that 6-yard box, trying to be 10 yards out, trying to tuck it in, because that's where we know he's clinical with his finishing. He'll get opportunities to show his skill and show his fantastic ability to beat defenders, but being in those areas to score goals, it's important for a number 9, and I'm sure Solskjaer is working on that with him, Marcus Rashford, Mason Greenwood, in terms of getting ruthless, really being hungry for goals. I said it before, I want these guys to be walking off the pitch disappointed when they don't score, but United have won 2-3-0. Now yesterday, obviously Martial and Rashford got goals, and Rashford's goal, wow, what a goal. The pass by Paul Pogba, amazing, absolutely amazing. And he loves finding Marcus Rashford with those runs. Marcus Rashford, great run, just onside, but perfect run. Bent his run around the defence. The touch, immaculate. And then what was great was he had the defender right on his shoulder, but he still managed to calm himself, tuck it with his right foot into the corner, and he just cushioned it, never blasted it, he never tried to rush it in. Again, showing a clinical edge. That's what we need from our strikers. Now obviously they were fully confident at that point. United were winning the game, the crowd was up for it, but that's what we want to see. They've got the pace, they've got the skill, they've got the trickery, but we want to see a ruthless edge to our strikers. And we're relying on Martial, we're relying on Rashford to get our goals this season. And the challenge to them has to be to get 50 goals between them or more. 25 goals plus we need from them each this season. I'd take 20, but we need 25 goals each from them this season. They're going to get the game time. They're going to get the minutes, providing they don't get injured. They need to score goals. And it was a great start from them. But that's all it was a start. We were playing against a Chelsea side under Frank Lampard, new team, new manager. Few key players missing. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Kante didn't start. Who's the other one that's out? Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Few players missing, but we beat Chelsea. You can only beat what's put in front of you, and it was a fantastic test for the opening day of the season, and we passed it with flying colours. But there's going to be plenty more tests along the way, and what I like is the players can't get too carried away, too excited. With all due respect to them, it's not like we've got Norwich at home next, where we may take our eye off the ball. We've got Wolves away, a team we didn't beat last season in 3 attempts. We lost twice at the Molineux. So that's good. It will keep our eye on it and keep us focused, you would like to think. But fantastic play by Martial and Rashford yesterday. Their running was great. I thought Martial was excellent off the ball as well. Something that we want to see more of from him. I thought it was a complete performance by both of them. And they gave Zuma a very hard time, and they gave the Chelsea backline a very, very hard time with their movement and their finishing as well. So well done to Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, but the challenge for them has to be 50 goals between them plus. 50 goals plus between them. Do you guys think they can get that? I do. I think if they play 50 games each this season, which is possible, we obviously got Europa League, domestic cup competitions, and the league 38 games. Providing they don't get injured, they should be getting enough games to get 25 goals. Now Rashford's got 2, Martial's got 1. That's 3 between them. Let's see if we can get another 47 between them. That's the challenge. I'm going to dive into the comments right now. Rashford is 2 goals and 3 assists behind Martial in all competitions. His running and tracking back was excellent, says Heron. Experts chatting about Chelsea having such a young team when the average age is exactly the same as United, says Albin. And I think we had the youngest team out of all Premier League sides that started on the weekend, which was fantastic. They have to take pens, says Adam Wilmot. Interested to see Rashford take the pen yesterday. I don't know whether that was because he won it. Maybe if Pogba won it, he would take it. If Martial won it, he would take it. Maybe there's an understanding between all of them. Who is going to replace Pogba next? Let's not think about that right now. Who do you think we should rest in Europa League, says King Crazy? De Gea? Pogba? Pogba needs to be wrapped in cotton wool this season. Of course, he's going to play a few games. But you know, in them trips where we're going away from home in the Europa League, I'd leave him out. Same with De Gea. You leave your key players out, so that spine is fresh for the next weekend when we're playing Premier League games. The Premier League has to be, the be all and end all for United this season. We have to finish as high as possible. How high is that? 3rd or 4th is probably the best we could hope for this season. That feels a bit defeatist being a United fan saying that with 37 games to go. But unfortunately, that's our reality right now. Maybe they'll surprise us. Who knows? I'd take 30 in the league between them, plus lots of assists, says Mo. Yeah, I don't mean 50 just in the league. I mean 50 in all competitions. If they can get 25 goals between them in all competitions, that would be healthy for the club. Both Rashi and Tony need to be rested too, says Herrick. Maybe one at a time you could rest. But I think we should be playing Greenwood in the Europa games. Love how when City and Liverpool blow teams away, the pundits get hyped, but when United do it to a top 4 rival, we shouldn't get carried away, says Reese. I haven't seen what other pundits have said about this game, or I say other pundits, I'm not a pundit, I'm just a fan like you guys, so I haven't seen what pundits have said about this game, but me personally, I'm not getting carried away. I don't want to get carried away. It's easy to, and coming out of Old Trafford yesterday, we all felt great. But I don't want to get carried away and say, title race is on, or expect crazy things, because we're still lacking a lot of depth in certain areas. We're still relying on certain players saying fit for the whole season. But what we saw yesterday was fantastic. And like I was saying with that Martial and Rashford, we're seeing a partnership developing there. And what we also saw was a partnership developing in the back as well. Lindelof and Maguire, they looked fantastic together yesterday. They looked incredible together yesterday. For the first game together as well. Maguire's just arrived. I said I didn't expect any issues with him settling in. And he came in and he would look fantastic straight away. In terms of interceptions, aerially, winning the ball in both boxes, commanding, leading the line, coming out from defence. He was fantastic. And Lindelof beside him. When one missed the ball, the other got it. When the other missed the ball, the other got it. They were fantastic. Both on a perfect wavelength. Now hopefully they can build something there. They can start again against Wolves. They can start again the next league game after that. And see them build something. Because at the moment, they both should be our first choice centre halves. I'd like to see Axel given a chance at some point in the season. But right now, we need to look at developing something between Lindelof and Maguire. All great teams, they have great defensive partnerships. Solidity in defence, reliability in defence. De Gea needs to know who's playing in front of him most weeks. De Gea, the fullbacks, once they know, I know Maguire's going to be there, I know Lindelof, they can build relationships and partner. When one goes, the other stays. Obviously, we're not going to be able to play them together every game. But that has to be the aim. And Maguire and Lindelof, I thought they looked perfect together yesterday. What do you guys think? Maguire for man of the match, says Ali Faturi. I'll give you my player ratings and man of the match towards the end of today's show. We're talking partnerships right now. Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford. Can they get 50 goals between them in all competitions this season? I think they can, and I think that should be the target. And Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, is that the partnership we want to see develop at United? In the heart of our defence, is that the partnership we want to see blossom? Do you think we should work on that? Aaron Wan-Bissaka, by the way, incredible. If Harry Maguire wasn't so good, we'd be waxing lyrical about Aaron Wan-Bissaka. He was fantastic yesterday for Manchester United. Getting forward, getting back, he was confident in beating the man. He was fantastic. Well done to Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Settled so well. Such a young player as well. Your worry is big fee, coming to Manchester United. The pressure might kill him. You could make comparisons to Wilfried Zaha. Obviously, no disrespect to Wilfried Zaha. He's having a fantastic career. But when he came to Manchester United, he didn't deliver. For whatever reasons. And that can easily happen. Especially looking at a young fullback. He had 18 months, in the first team at Palace. Comes to United, £50 million, and he slots in like that. He's looked like he's been playing at Old Trafford for years for Manchester United. It was great to see from him. Twanzebe's greater than Lindelof, says Blackguard. Feel pity for Luke is good last season, says Heron. AWB was P.O.'s man of the match. Spencer, how you doing? Luke says his man of the match was Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Ali says Harry. Maguire, Bissaka and Victor after Maguire came. Huh? What do you think about Aaron Wan-Bissaka almost getting beat by Pulisic? Not throwing salt. I'm a United fan and love Aaron Wan-Bissaka, says endure and survive. You're going to get beat. It's that simple. It's going to happen. If you go in a boxing ring, if you box, you're going to get punched in the face once upon a time. If you play a defender, you're going to get mugged off once in a time. You might get megged once in a while. But it's how many times you keep them out as well. If nine out of 10 times, I know I've repeated that a lot, pull up, 9 out of 10 times, a defender keeps his attacker out, that's great. Our best midfield partnership at the moment, Nate, I think is McTominay and Pogba. Now, from what we saw yesterday, it's still got a lot of work to be done on it, I think. Because, look, you'll see this in my player ratings later and I'll discuss it a little bit more. During the game and after the game, I felt Pogba was at half level. I think we didn't see the best of Pogba. I thought he could have played better. But then, you sit back and you think about some of the moments that he produced. The assist for Daniel James. The assist for Marcus Rashford. Some of the other involvements in building up play. And he actually had a very good game. So it's maybe the standards that I hold of Pogba. There was a few occasions where he gave the ball away and it was frustrating. But we almost have to allow that in the right areas. We don't want him doing that on the edge of our own box, of course not. But in the final third, if he loses the ball, yes, if it happens 99 times out of 100, we're all going to be pissed off. But with a player the quality of Paul Pogba, more often than not, it leads to great things. He's a fantastic player. He's our best player. And sometimes we need to allow him the freedom to make those mistakes in the final third, in the right areas. Obviously not deep, not in front of your defence. Definitely not in your own box. But in that final third, I thought McTominay looked good at times yesterday as well. And I think those are the first choice. But Fred's going to come into the mix. We need Fred to perform. We need Fred to come good. Andreas Pereira. Now, we did play wide a lot of the time. He was moving across the pitch an awful lot. He exerted a lot of energy. Be interested to see how much distance he covered. But again, he could provide an option in there. But that ball that he played in, from those wide areas, we're going to see the best of him trying to get that ball into the box for Anthony Martial, Marcus Rashford or whoever. But we did see in pre-season as well, fantastic pass for Martial through the middle of the pitch. So he does have an eye for a great pass, does Pereira. But McTominay, Pogba, Fred, they have to perform. Pogba has to stay fit. Pogba has an injury, we are fucked. Maybe for a game, but if there's a long-term absence of Paul Pogba in his team, we're ruined because we haven't got the cover for him. We haven't got the cover at all whatsoever. Guys, get your likes in for this video. Get your thoughts in on this video as well. How are you feeling after Manchester United beat Chelsea 4-0? This is the Aftermath Live. We've still got player ratings coming your way very soon. We've been speaking about partnerships today, haven't we? Martial and Rashford, can they get 50 plus goals between them this season in all competitions? Maguire and Lindelof, is that the future of our defence? And you guys have asked questions which led me to talk about Pogba and McTominay. Ilya says McTominay is the new Fletcher. I think Pereira was nervous and will get better. You need to plug the young ones in, says Red92. No Prem team has won the league without a world-class striker. Prove me otherwise, we are lacking, says Tian. Hope we paced Wolves, says Stephen. It's important that we keep this momentum up now and get a result against Wolves. We really have to do that. I'm scared of our middle defensively and from transition, especially against teams who sit back. We're good when teams attack us a bit. Says Zed is the best. The comment moved on. It was a bit more at the end, but I missed it. Can Martial scores 30 goals a season? I think eventually that has to be the aim for him. If it's this season, I don't know, maybe, I'm saying 25 plus. 11 vacant for James next season, says Kevin. Maybe he can make 21 his own thing. Maybe he can help us win 21. And then that'll become a thing. That's what I'd like to think. Look at Van Persie. He made that number 20 his own number. I know Fabio had it before him. And we've seen certain other players have it. Solskjaer. But 20 was never a number that you thought, there's big pressure on you taking that. But Van Persie took it because of what it meant in terms of titles. And he made it his thing, just like Solskjaer made it iconic with his goal. So, you don't have to take an iconic number. Cheers, Stephen. I appreciate that comment. Adam, sorry about that, mate. Zlatan on loan in January, says Ada. I'd love it just for the banter purposes. Do you think McTominay can get better, says Baz? Of course he can get better. He's not going to be at his peak until he's 24, 25, 26 maybe. So going into his late 20s is when you'll see the best of him. Matt says, good debate that was with Gary Neville at the big debate. Thank you very much, mate. And if you don't know what he's talking about, go and check out the Sky Bet video. The fan Q&A part is where I asked Gary Neville a question. Go and check that out. Of course I know that Solskjaer was 20. What is a super chat? I don't know what super chat is, mate. 60 goals between our front three and we're competing for the title, says Tian de God. A midfielder like Saul will complete our squad. Sancho and Chilwell will accelerate the process of the squad to become guaranteed title contenders, says Ilias. And I do feel there's something building at Manchester United. Maybe not for this season, but when you look at the team, there's a nucleus of good young players with their best years ahead of them. Obviously, when you look at the likes of De Gea's still a fantastic age. He's still got years in him. Harry Maguire's not young, but he's not old. You know what I mean? Victor Lindelof the same. Luke Shaw the same. Aaron Wan-Bissaka's a young lad. Pogba's not old, but he's not young. You know what I mean? So he's still got good years ahead of him. Whether they're at United or not remains to be seen. McTominay's a good age. Further afield, Jesse's a good age. Still got good years ahead of him. Rashford, Martial are young, and they're going to improve massively. And then you're looking at Mason Greenwood, Tahith Chong, Angel Gomez coming in as well. Delo providing some sort of complement to our fullbacks. Joel Pereira, Dean Henderson coming through in goal. Axel Twanzebe in defence. Fosu Mensah if he can rescue something after his injury recovery. So you're looking around and you're seeing young players in every position. And it's great that the average age of our squad was one of the youngest in the league as well. Because these players are only going to get better. And how could I forget Daniel James when talking about younger players? Of course, not sure what level he could really reach yet. I haven't really seen enough of him. But what he's shown is an absolute beast in terms of pace. He's quick. He's got a low centre of gravity. Small, so he gets fouled a lot. You've seen him nip away from Kante. Not many people do that. He's finished for the goal. Little bit of luck, but being in the right place, making the right run for Pogba to find him. What a pass as well. And then a little bit of luck for the goal, but he deserved it. It meant so much to him, and it was great to see that. It really was. The celebration with all his teammates was fantastic. So fair play to him as well, providing a threat from the bench, scoring a goal, even had a cheek to pick himself in his fantasy Premier League. What a guy. Rashford hat-trick against Liverpool, incoming, says Man United 21. United still needs to cement. Yes, we still need to improve our midfield, our attack, complement a few signings here and there, but we've got the nucleus of a very good team for the future, and I'm excited about what we're building here right now. A few more signings this summer. The right signings would have accelerated that, like someone else said in the comments. Anyway, let's go to the player ratings. First though, this was the predicted 11 I had. It was this predicted 11, so obviously I had Juan Mata in there in the starting lineup now. As you know, Juan Mata came on as a substitute. This was the team that started, so I got one player wrong, that was Pereira for Juan Mata, who came in. And it was a pretty good team, pretty solid performance. The back four looked like they played together for years. Maguire and Lindelof looked like they played together for years. Wan-Bissaka, great going forward defensively. In midfield, first 20-25 minutes we were a bit loose, but once they got into the game they looked very good. Paul Pogba pulling strings, 2 fantastic assists. Lingard worked hard. He's really key to that press that we're doing, and we do need more depth in that area as well. That's why Dybala would have been such a fantastic signing. Marcus Rashford running in from that wide position, fantastic run for his second goal, took his penalty fantastically well as well. 2 goals to start the season for him. Martial, where you want to see him in that number 9 shirt, poaching goals, got a goal, bit of luck with the ricochet off his knee and his leg, but right place, right time on the end of that Pereira cross, fantastic cross by him. So he got an assist. Pogba got 2 assists. Obviously, Marcus Rashford scored a penalty and scored that great goal from Pogba's assist. Martial got a goal as well. Goals coming from all over the place. And Daniel James coming from the bench to get his goal. Now, the player ratings are as follows. So David De Gea got a 7 from me. Wan-Bissaka an 8. Lindelof a 7. Luke Shaw a 7. McTominay a 7. Paul Pogba an 8. Now, Paul Pogba was going to get a 7 from me. But for that pass alone, I had to bump it up a little bit. 7 for Jess. Thought he worked very hard, did well. Pereira got a 7. Marcus an 8. Martial an 8. And the one name I haven't said yet in that back 5, Harry Maguire, who got my man of the match and got a 9 out of 10. Now, I did initially say Aaron Wan-Bissaka was my man of the match immediately after the game. But like I said, this is the aftermath. This is where we talk about the game after the dust has settled, after I've watched the game over again. And I have seen the game over again. I couldn't wait to get back in, watch Sky Sports as I recorded it, watch the coverage, watch the analysis after the game as well, seeing Jose And it was funny. Pogba picked up the ball just after the United crowd had finished chanting Jose Mourinho, ran through the whole team and then teed up Daniel James. But yeah, enjoyed listening to Jose Mourinho. He is very defensive in the way he thinks, which is probably shows why he didn't succeed at United amongst other things. But it was nice to see him get that reception as well, because we had good times under Jose. The Europa League, the League Cup, won't never forget the experiences that we had in Stockholm and Wembley. So it was nice to see him get that reception. And United fans, we always greet returning players and returning managers and people that have won stuff for us with massive respect. So hats off to him for that. Jacob says, Maguire was clearly man of the match. De Gea was an 8, says Krasbach. Shaw was a 6, the weak link, says Juju. Why is De Gea only 7, a clean sheet, says Matthew. Good point. Maybe I was a little bit harsh on De Gea. Billy T thinks I should have given Pogba a 7 and at most Pereira a 6. I think I bumped Pereira's up. It was probably influenced by his assist. Lola Martial's nose in the 8. I haven't seen that, but oh yeah, it's a perfect fit, isn't it? All 7, at least 4 goals and a clean sheet. What are you guys on about? Says Adam Wilmot. Not a lot of players in Barca makes runs like Rashford, says Patrick. Shh, don't say that. We don't want them to get their hands on our Marcus, do we? But that's my player ratings. Keep yours coming in if you disagree with any that's there. Ali says Maguire was a 10. I didn't quite give him a 10, but I did give him a 9, and I did give him my first man of the match of the season. And this has been pretty cool. First aftermath of the season as well. I've really enjoyed chatting with all of you guys about all things Manchester United. On the next aftermath, we will have Dean joining me here as well, straight up Dean. Later this week, we've got a whole host of content coming for you. I'm going to make a few random videos. If there's any talking points coming up, I'll do that. We've got the Weekly United returning this week as well. That'll be on Friday. Then we've got the preview to come as well. For the Wolves game, we've got the Wolves aftermath after that, but we'll have live reaction from the Molineux about an hour after the game, after I've done fan cams, a match day vlog, all that stuff coming up this week on Adam McKola TV. We're keeping it busy, we're keeping it coming through, we're keeping active here, so make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, make sure you're keeping it liking, commenting and sharing, and keeping your player ratings coming as well, because those are mine. And I want to know yours, and I want to know your thoughts on Manchester United 4, Chelsea 0. The dust has well and truly settled, and before my voice goes, I am going to go. So thank you for watching, guys. You're all legends, whether you watch live or you tuned in after the fact. Thank you very much. For now, I've been Adam McKola. I'm out of here.